For more on this, let's bring in 2024 Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley. Ambassador, great to have you here and good to see you. We're getting closer and closer. You can feel it. And those new power rankings, we can put them up on the screen. It's going to get pretty interesting here when you look at these competitive states at play. Biden's going to play defense in 5 fiercely competitive states. Both parties are showing that they have pickup opportunities. Biden won 3 states on a margin of less than 1 point in 2020: Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin. What is your thought at this point in the game?
Don't complain about what you get in a general election if you don't play in this primary. It's why every single American needs to be paying attention to the primaries, because we've got to have someone who wins a Republican primary that can actually win a general election. It's been pretty much regular that everybody always tries to see how far right they can get, to get the most right candidate. The most right candidate's not going to win a general election. We've got to get in there and talk about someone who can handle the economy, who can handle crime, who understands transparency and education, who knows we've got a border issue, but also knows the national security threats that we face. I've been a 2-term governor and I've had foreign policy experience. And so I think it's time that we get somebody that not only can right the ship, but somebody that can win a general election as well.
How do you characterize yourself?
Well, I think the fact that I have the experience of both domestic and foreign policy, and the fact that I know that, look, you can look at any of the polls and they'll tell you I don't have a lot of negatives and I'm very likely to win a general election. I think that comes from demeanor. I think that comes from experience. I think that comes from the fact that I've had results and what people think. And so that's the goal that we're going to try and push forward. And that's why we're spending as much time in New Hampshire, Iowa, and South Carolina as we can. We've done 30 events in New Hampshire so far. We've done 25 in Iowa, and we're just getting started.
Really interesting stuff. And to have 5 GOP presidential candidates on the ground in New Hampshire today, the site of the first GOP primary, this is already a fiercely competitive battle. Want to ask you about some of the latest headlines out there and some of the biggest news that the current White House faces, obviously with Biden running for re-election. This is response, just for an example from the media, and this is The View. Coming to the defense of this president on the Hunter Biden allegations. I want to get your reaction to this.
The Hunter Biden story, the scandal, the this, the that, it's also the story of a father's love. And Joe Biden has never and will never give up on his son Hunter, and will never treat him lesser than. And so he is a father first. Take it or leave it.
Okay, so she and The View are making the case that this is about a father's love. As the president continues to deny any knowledge of his son's business dealings, which we have very vague details of, where does this go, Ambassador?
First of all, let's say, okay, so is the love for his son greater than the love for his country? Because that's what it looks like. It smells bad, Sandra. Before you could say, oh, maybe it was nothing. There's clearly something there. And there's clearly something that needs to be found out. This is about accountability. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, we've got to have accountability. If you don't address this, it will happen again. And we can't have a situation where we think a president is compromised. We can't have a situation where we have a son going rogue, raising money, threatening or saying that he can get things that he can't. And so I think if the Department of Justice can't handle this, then I think Congress is right to go ahead and step forward. We've got to start taking these kinds of issues seriously, and we've got to bring ethics back to D.C.
All right. I want to move on to your piece in the Wall Street Journal and your plan to confront China. This is something, obviously, a growing threat to this country. Every American cares about, Ambassador, and you are detailing your plan to confront them, saying, quote, I'll do everything in my power to prevent China from buying any more land and force it to sell what it already owns. Obviously, this is a huge growing story, and their purchase of American lands. Ambassador Haley, how far are you willing to go with this? There's been talk about whether or not we should ban all Chinese foreign purchases of American land. Are you willing to go that far?
First of all, we have to realize that our leaders have failed us on this. China is an incredibly dangerous threat, and everybody continues to say, oh, we'll deal with it tomorrow. We'll deal with it tomorrow. If we don't deal with this now, it will deal with us. There won't be us dealing with them tomorrow. We have to take China on domestically, economically, and militarily. Domestically, we've got to get all this Chinese infiltration out of America. That means whether they have land, if they have land, we need to get it back, and no more buying land by the Chinese. We have to make sure we get them out of our universities. We've got to get them to stop the flow of fentanyl, and if that means us changing our normal trade relations to get them to stop killing Americans, we should do it. We've got to make sure that we stop the lobbying in D.C. by Chinese companies, because that's just a front for China to start with. When it comes to economically, they're stealing $600 billion worth of intellectual property from us every year, and it's going to their military. It's a problem. And we have to get a stronger military. China is having our lunch when it comes to the military. They've built up from a nuclear perspective, from a cyber perspective, from a space perspective. We're seeing it all across the board, and America is not keeping up. That's a problem. We've got to start dealing with China holistically, and I'm prepared to do that.
You're clearly taking a very firm stance on China. You've made that very clear. In this piece, you also say, I will push American businesses to leave China as completely as possible. Are you willing to go as far as your opponent, another GOP presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy, has gone on the record saying he will ban all American businesses from doing business in China until she comes to certain agreements with us? Are you going that far?
I think we have to go and tell China what we expect of them. And, for example, in the fentanyl situation, if they don't quit sending it to the cartels, then we stop normal trade relations with them. And that means we start to diffuse what we've got of that coupling that we have. Because we can't allow business and companies to make profits on the backs of American lives. This is a time that we deal with China head on. And look, businesses need to understand, you are proceeding with China at your own risk. If you want to know what can happen, just look at what happened to the Europeans with Russia. If China pulls their rug out from under us tomorrow, will these companies be ready? We need to look at this from a national security lens. We need to do this from an aspect that we're protecting Americans, that we're defending our freedoms, and that we see this for the dangerous threat it is. Too many people have pushed China aside and said, we'll deal with it tomorrow. China is dealing with us today, and it's time for us to start acting like we know better.
Well, as China emerges as a bigger and bigger threat to us, clearly this is becoming a bigger and bigger issue for the 2024 election. Final question to you on this, the revelations of this new former President Donald Trump audio on the classified documents that were released. Ambassador, this was the former president, obviously also who you will be running against in that primary, denying that he had this Iran document. This was in an interview with our own Brett Baird just last week. Listen to this and I'll get your reaction.
Brett, there was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or may not, but that was not a document. I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories, and articles.
I'm just saying what the indictment says.
Well,
the recording and the people in the room who testified.
These people are very dishonest people. They're thugs.
Can I get your reaction to that, Ambassador?
I mean, who knows? All I can say is if the indictment is true, I think it's reckless. But there's going to be a trial, and Trump will have the ability to defend himself. But we can't keep chasing every drama that surrounds Trump. We've got serious issues in our country, from our debt to education to crime to the border to our national security. We can't keep chasing these dramas that are surrounding Trump. We've got a country to save. We've got to start going forward and paying attention to that, not these other issues.
Ambassador, great to have you on today. Appreciate you joining us on all of that.
Thanks so much, Sandra.
All right, Trace.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.